What is up, my beautiful people? Happy Saturday. Another daily download from the week. Today, talking about being fed up. And it takes being fed up in order to make a change. And so being fed up is not a bad thing, but what you do about it will determine the results that you will achieve. And so what I want to talk about is having a true transformation versus a false lift. And as I said that this morning, true transformation. There's a guy, Josiah, who has a fitness program literally called True Transformation. I was like, maybe that's why he went with that name, right? And here's what the difference is between a true transformation and a false lift. A true transformation is an identity shift. So here's my story. Here's my wisdom. When you are fed up, like I said, good thing, forces you to action. When you hate your life, when you no longer tolerate your financial situation, your marriage not working, the kind of dad you're being to the kids, the fat gut hanging over your belly, right? Your inability to walk up the stairs without getting out of breath, right? Just getting out of the shower, looking at the mirror and just being like, God dang, I hate how I look, right? When I will no longer tolerate what I'm currently doing, then I'm forced to move, right? I decide this isn't going to work. I need to take new actions. And so if I just start taking new actions, that's awesome because that gives me a vote. Every new action I take gives me a vote for the new person I want to be. Here's the problem. If I don't get really clear on the vision of who this person I want to be is, and I just start taking action, then what I've seen in my experience is that you'll start to take action, you'll move away from the pain, you'll get results because action is what gets result. Thinking about it, talking about it, planning about it, that doesn't do shit to move the needle. So once you take action, you will get results. But without the vision and the North Star and the new identity, you really stop the motivation as soon as you move away from the pain. And then you start the slow drift back to the old comfort. And so why we call it a false lift in the warrior program is like if you don't truly get connected to that new version at that peak, then is like you're just going to alleviate the pain, but you're not really making any actual change. You're just changing the surface, and then that just covers up the problem. And if you don't really dive deep into the why behind it, which is what's associated with like the identity and like kind of the reasons for who you want to be at like a core level, then you're just going to repeat those old patterns as soon as the circumstances change, things get hard, your schedule gets overloaded, or, you just get bored because, you remove that pain and now it's just not that important to you, right? Because if I don't change my values and my beliefs about who I am, then I'm going to default to that old behavior. Okay, so that is why, and I'm going to read this off the script here, so bear with me. This is just what I've said. This is kind of like casting the vision. Number one is why I have the North Star, why I shifted that in my programs. Number two, you've got to build those habits, right? And those habits are the daily, the weekly, the monthly, they're the actual work, right? But without that North Star across your health, wealth, and your relationships, you don't really know the kind of man that you're becoming. It's very difficult to know what the actions and habits are to align with that version of yourself. In other words, there's a lot of things you can do, and it's being really, really specific that helps you to filter out the shit that's not going to help you get what you want in the long term, right? Temporarily, I can do a lot of stuff and get a little bit of result, but the further along on the journey, the more I have to fine tune what I actually want. So the North Star, then the habits, and then what I had put was installing a system for living, creating a new standard, a new floor, if you will. Like, this is what I will tolerate as my minimum. Anything less than this, unacceptable. And so raising the bar in your life across your marriage, across your relationship with your kids, across your body, your fitness, your fuel, your relationship with God. Like, this is what I do now. It's non-negotiable. And then just holding yourself ruthlessly accountable to that, right? And then committing to that process, not just for like a month or 6 weeks, 21 day, 12-week challenge. This is where I've really made the shift and where I've started to create this brotherhood, because this is for the next 50 years, right? We're all in our 40s. We want to do this until we're 80, 90 years old. I don't want to just do this for a little burst and then go back, right? I'm not trying to get a quick fix. This is going to be who I become over the next 50 years. I want to shatter this goal that I have set, then create another one, then shatter that, then create another one. Like, these are the prime years of our life, not the wind down time. So anyways, that's the drift. That's the shift. That's the game. And yeah, that was what I got for you guys this morning. I love you. Have an awesome day.